Alright, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakodash. No honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well. Shalom to the brothers and highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom. This is the brother Iron from HMS Jamaica Camp. Come with another quick lesson. And the topic of this lesson is gonna be somewhere along the lines of just do it. Or no, it's not just do it. Right. There's no shortcut to the kingdom of heaven. Right. I was actually thinking upon it. Right. There's no shortcut to the kingdom of heaven. Right. And the apostle Paul, he used the example of wrestlers, right, or fighters. He says that they fight to receive an corruptible crown, but we are actually disciplined to as we try to gain an incorruptible crown, right? And the reason why I say that there are no shortcuts to the kingdom of heaven is that I'm watching a few videos about business people, as well as quote unquote successful people in this life, whether it's musicians, whether it's artists, whether it's someone in business, whether it's athletes, people that are in somewhat, you can say, at the top of their field. And one of the things that they even all the videos I've been watching, has been saying there are no shortcuts. You have to put in the work. And it's the same thing with the kingdom of heaven, right? Another motivation was also the brothers, I think his name is Itazawam from the Dallas camp. He did a video saying that we should have an edge about us, and part of the things, or one of the things that he was harping on, was the fact that we need to be disciplined, right? And he mentioned the book Discipline is Freedom, or something along those lines. I don't remember what the name of the book was. Instantly I actually went and downloaded the book, but I think it's The Freedom of Discipline, or something along those lines. I forgot the name. As a matter of fact, let me just check on that real quickly. Well, I'll check on it, right? Hopefully I get to put it in the description. But yeah, he mentioned that book, and part of it was not to get comfortable, and with the truth, there are things that we need to do to enter in the kingdom of heaven, right? In Peter's it says, giving all diligence to make your calling and election sure, right? It says giving all diligence to make your calling and election sure. So it's really not about how you feel. Hey, I'm too tired to do a lesson. I just don't have enough time. What else? I'll read tomorrow. I'll fast next year or next month, or I'll get with the brothers. I'll fellowship with the brothers, next time. Right? I'll start doing this tomorrow. It leads into procrastination, but it also leads to excuses. Oh, it's too cold to go out. Or it's too hot to go out, or do I really have to do this today? I don't have enough time. I think it's best to do it this way, because that way is more uncomfortable, right? But anything that is of value from a carnal sense, or in this life, there's still a level of discipline that needs to be have, and you have to push and work hard to get to it. So how much more the kingdom of heaven, right? So we have spiritual goals, right? And that's what helps with discipline. The way how discipline works is you have a goal, and regardless of how you feel, you do what's necessary to get to that goal, right? Now ultimately our spiritual goal, our number one goal, if you're truly of the hopeful elect, is salvation, right? So all the things that we need to do to obtain salvation, we should be disciplined in it. What are the examples? Doing the work, meaning doing lessons, going out on the highways and byways, working towards, doing the daily edification. We have fasting, we have praying, we have fellowshipping, we have reading and studying, right? We have self-examination. And these things are things that we have to, tweak over time. So we have that overall long-term goal, and then we have the short-term goal, which is what? How are we going to do this on a daily? What kind of system am I going to put in place to ensure that I reach this goal and stick to that system regardless of how I feel? Right? Does it mean that you won't fall? No. Does it mean that it doesn't get hard? No. But it's not, it's keeping your eyes single. It's about focusing on the end goal and using that to override whatever feeling of tiredness or whatever reason of laziness or whatever the hindrance is, why you need to cut off this or cut off that to ensure that the ultimate goal is the kingdom. But there are no shortcuts. There's no just showing up to camp. There's no doing a lesson when I feel like. There's no I'm not in the mood. It's not about how you feel or what is comfortable at the moment. It's about getting to the end goal. Therefore, you'll do what is necessary despite the feeling. All right? So no shortcuts. Yahushua didn't take any shortcuts when he was on the cross. He went all the way through. Our forefathers, the apostles, and the elders of old, they and the righteous prophets, the righteous men, they went through it to the point of death. Some of them, right? Those that had that lot, even up to the point of death. So therefore, it's not about how we feel, but it's about what we are trying to achieve. Right? Part of that is also balancing, your the balancing when you're doing spiritual stuff and when you're actually, in your everyday life, so to speak. I don't want to say your carnal life, but making sure that when it's time for the spiritual, everything that requires your attention at that time gets it. When it's time for things outside of teaching the ministry or outside of the ministry, that needs to be balanced, whether it's family, whether it's finances, we're in this world, basically just maintaining, then that gets attended to, your leisure time, your rest time, things of that nature, right? And so lucky if I'm I'm gonna bring out the precepts, I just really want to be clear. I'm trying to explain this as best as I can, in regards to the fact that, most times why we don't do certain things is because of a feeling. We feel tired. We feel like we can do it tomorrow. We're not in the mood right now. Right? And we create excuses. We procrastinate. Even if we have a system in place, it's like, no, I'll restart the system tomorrow. No, restart the system now. When you see that something is gone far left, correct it right there and then. Even though you feel like tomorrow is a better day. No. We're here and the now. Right? I'll start working up earlier tomorrow. That's not being disciplined. Because you waking up, you spending an extra hour to sleep may throw off what the sequence or the routines of things so badly, where at the end of the day you don't achieve that daily goal. Right? I implore brothers, to write down things that write down what is it that you're trying to achieve. Write down how is it that you're gonna achieve it, and do a daily or probably even a weekly or a monthly stock taking as to what did I achieve. Did I achieve my spiritual goals for this week or for today? Did I achieve my spiritual goals for the last 2 weeks? Did I achieve my spiritual goals for the last 3 weeks? Did I achieve my spiritual goals for this month? Yes. What's yes? All right. Good. Let's try to improve upon that. No. All right. Why do we have these? What happened? What do we need to change? The no's would highlight the parts that, the indisciplined parts that are coming. And you're gonna always have yes, you're gonna always have no's, and it's about working and tweaking until you're perfect. We're natural problem solvers. There's always gonna be a problem. There's always gonna be a next thing to overcome. But once they are directed spiritually and their spiritual goals, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, then it's all good. What it means is that you're just living in the spirit and you're just growing in the spirit, right? And once again, it's a balance, right? Because you can't be on YouTube all day. You can't be you can't be reading the scriptures only all day. You can't be you can't be doing lessons all day. There's a balance, as the scripture tells us, says temperate in all things. So it's about temperance. And that is why I say, you make goals, right? You make your spiritual goals and you make your quote unquote, your everyday goals, meaning things outside of the ministry, right? And once you have your goals, right, be goal oriented. Once you have your goals and you know how is it that you plan to reach those goals, then it's about discipline now to do what is necessary despite how you feel in regards to achieving those goals. But there won't be any shortcuts. There will be shortcomings, but no shortcuts. And it's not about perfect and getting everything down to a T. It's about improving and correcting as you go along. Learn from your mistakes and keep on pushing, right? As we know that we're fighting. This is not a physical, but our warfare is not carnal, but spiritual. So my advice and my way of actually trying to combat this is having looking at it from a goal-oriented standpoint, making a plan and doing my best to be disciplined towards that plan, despite how we feel like that is a major part of mortifying the flesh. The brother from Dallas, he also said that, look, we should be have something that we do. He said for him it's actually working out, right? It's good to really have something outside of the ministry that you do, like a hobby per se, right? But it's not just any hobby. It's something that should be to your betterment, that should be to build you, right? Nonetheless, really, I hope that that point is clear. So it's lucky if I'm rambling, but let me just get in the scriptures and try to close out. This is 2 Ezra 7, and I'll start at 1. It says, "And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the nights afore. And he said unto me, Up, Esdras, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my power. Then he said unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow, and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look up on it, and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?" All right. So if as it says, the entrance thereof, what was narrow like a river, but the goal is to get to the sea. So there's no shortcut of getting to the sea. The only path, to get there is through that river. And if one of the quotes that I heard while researching and watching the things that I've been saying earlier in the video is that they said that even the shortcuts, they even if they do take it to a point, they don't take you where you need to be. So it's definitely honest and going up the right way, striving lawfully, right? That's it. We have to strive lawfully for a crown, for the mastery, right? We all know that doing things the right way, is usually harder, or it's always harder than when there's a shortcut, and it's not as strong when you take the shortcut either, because you lack substance. Traveling the right route, the longer route, you gain more experience, you see more things, you meet a lot of people, the experience that comes with that, and the knowledge and wisdom that comes with that is far better than taking the shortcut. And you might think that you know the way, but really you have little to no experience because you took the shortcut, right? So moving on, it says, right, verse 6 says, there's also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if it were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. Exactly. So there will be trials, there will be difficult situations, there'll be discomforts, once again, even up to the point of death, right? But we have to go through those discomforts to really get it, right? So that is what I was saying, that when you make the plan, it may not go according, you may fall short, and you still have to bounce back, right? Read this again. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if it were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep, right? So you have to, there's nothing to really tell you exactly, like you step left, then you step right. Some things you just have to try out, as the word experience means, to try out, and you have to learn some things on your own as well as to learn from others. There's a balance to it as well, right? You have to try things and fail, and then come on, learn from it and move forward, right? It says, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be but one man go there at once. And that's the thing. Always say, the truth, it's a team sport, but really it begins with the individual. So you make yourself strong enough where you're able to help others, and the help that you help others is by strengthening them. But every man will have to go make their walk. Everyone have to do what they need to do. As the brother said, every man needs to put an edge about himself, right? And for my advice in regards to that through the Spirit is having spiritual goals, and having goals, but mainly spiritual goals. Set the plan of achieving those goals, and stay disciplined regardless of how you're feeling. Tweak and adjust as you need, right? But just ensure that you're moving towards the mark, right? It says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, it is so, Lord. And then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. All right, and that's the thing. Just like in the in out there in the world, only those who go through the struggle, those who go through the grind, yes, they have to pass through Esau, and yes, some of them actually, majority of them sold out. Even in that aspect, there's still some level of discomfort that they got to go through. And those who somewhat came up the right way, it took years of training, years of, like for example, Kobe Bryant, right? You'll hear stories about how he trained, his mindset. Same thing for Michael Jordan, and many people that are top of their class. Some musicians, some athletes. Look at those that are successful, and even outside of the fact that they sold out, right? There's also another aspect of their story about how they harnessed and molded their talents, and the discipline that they put into their craft, to the point where that helped them to go to the top, And for us, we're not selling out. We have a noble goal, and we have our path, to Yahweh Shem Shai, is one that is clean and which is right. But in regards to the discipline, right, and the grind, and going through regardless of how we feel, that is also necessary so that we can get that glory, so that we can get the reward, so that we can get the incorruptible crown. All right. So really, that's all that I had to say on this topic. Slakia for speaking so much. Gonna work on that. To bring out more precepts and stop rambling. Sorry about that. But I really hope that this was edifying nonetheless. Once more, to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shem Shai Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom to the hopeful elect.